Hello, hello, it's GeoCamel. I'm back with some more GeoGuessr content, and today I want to practice a little bit of my no moving game, kind of brush up on some meta, so we're going to hit some country streaks again, and see if we can maybe build up a longer streak than we got last time. Last time we had 23, I think we could do better than that. Let's get going. Okay. Right off the bat, we got a Southeast Asian vibe, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, well, we are driving on the right here, but on a road like this, it's kind of tough, but I'm inclined to go Philippines right away, and since we don't have a streak going, I think we can just send. Okay, wrong half of the country, but really doesn't matter when we're getting country streaks. This is interesting. I almost said America because of the home styles. And I cannot see a license plate, so that's a bit tough. This road does make me question it, but instead I think I might want to go Canada here. Hard to explain why in particular. I'm not really seeing anything concrete that makes me want to do that. I just think it's Canada. And it was indeed Ontario. So that was a pretty good vibe. Here we're gonna have some Bangladesh. I almost said Sri Lanka for some reason. Obviously, I didn't think it was Sri Lanka. This script makes it extremely easy, but let's just smack it down. Don't really know what part of the country it is, and I never really do with Bangladesh. This looks Greek. I was gonna say that before the sign, but the sign definitely made it a little easier, and it was in this south area near Patras. Classic kind of South American bus. Not very classic looking fast food restaurant or whatever this is. And let's just look at those license plates. So they're short and they're white. And oh, I don't know why I didn't notice the Guatemala car. I was totally like, my eyes were affixed to other things. So that's an easy send. So really getting it going here with 5 right off the bat. But we're gonna need a lot more. So this is just gonna be Spain. Yep, yellow reflectors confirms. And then here, what does this look like? Turkey? No, it's actually Russia. Or is it? That's a red car. It would have definitely said Russia, but I guess Ukraine. Just seemed so, it seemed a little barren for Ukraine. But thank God we saw that. Almost did an instant Russia send. I am trying to do this a little bit faster than last time. This is Thai, right? Or was that Cambodian? Let's look at the polls. No, it's Thai. Almost looked like a Cambodian kind of round. Maybe we'll go near Cambodia. Like over here. Nope, it was just north. That was going to be my second choice. So we're on a good start here. This is going to be like the Kenyan coast. That's kind of cool. Yeah, direction agrees with that. I guess it's going to be near Mombasa. Other side of Mombasa, of course. Some areas in Kenya that seem very cool. Wouldn't mind going to Kenya one day. Okay, and that... I instantly was thinking Canada, but this so could be America. There's really no reason to think that this is particularly Canada over America. I think this reminds me of one of the Canadian license plates, and I'm kind of blanking out because it's been a while. It's been a while since I looked at what those looked like. I've actually looked at American ones more recently, because they're a hell of a lot harder. So let me see. I don't think it was the Quebec one that it reminds me of. It might have been like New Brunswick or something like that. Another thing we can check for New Brunswick. Okay, so this transformer or whatever, I'm not exactly sure what it's called. It's not facing the road, so that's a sign against it being New Brunswick. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like... Doesn't look like New Brunswick. Do we go America here? Do we go America? I think we go America. And it was America. We're just gonna keep going. We are on a 9 streak. Wait, wouldn't that have made it a 10 streak? I think because I accidentally pressed the back button, it didn't count the last round. I mean, it still counts that we're on a streak, though. Okay, that's weird. Well, let's just keep going. I think this is also US. I really don't have a clue where, but it was Iowa. I'll take it, though. All right, now we have a 10 streak. I feel like we actually have an 11 streak, though. I'm like, for our own purposes, since we're not going for a record or anything crazy here, I'm going to count that as an 11 streak. Just, we know what happened. We know what happened. That was a bit weird. I'm going to really try not to hit that back button. I have one button on my mouse that's programmed to do that, so it's a little annoying. Should probably undo that. So this is an obvious Thailand. I'm just going to go there. It was north again. And we got a domain that just makes it nice and easy. Krakow. This... So this is, I guess, Russia, right? There's blue on that, but there's no blue strip kind of stuff, which would signify a lot of European license plates. Okay, we don't have a Ukrainian thing there, so yeah, I guess this would just be Russia. And as to where it is, I mean, I really don't have a clue. Not the worst guess as far as Russia goes. Oh man, these are a thing. Are they Cambodian? I'm trying to remember. What does this actually look like to me, though? I think they might be Cambodian. We don't see any cars. We don't see this sign. I cannot read. Although, wait. Yes, it has a Cambodian flag on it. That is really clutch. Really clutch. So I thought those red and white or orange and white things were Cambodian, but it's been a long time since I've seen them, so couldn't really remember. Not a great score on that game, but keeping the streak alive, which... Again, I'm going to still count that as 15 because we had some weird stuff happen in there. This one's kind of tough. Yeah, so we got double yellows. The road seems a bit weirdly thin to be America. Something just doesn't quite add up for it being America. But a double yellow line would kind of mean that it has to be North America, or, I mean, it's not Mexico, I believe. I'm trying to think about what else on earth it could be. I think this just has to be America. It's just a weird America. It's actually Maryland. Probably would have never guessed that. Pretty nice to not have to really region guess, but that is a whole nother skill with no moving that I'm going to have to get used to. However, right now we're just practicing meta. We're on 15 or 16, And these poles are pretty square in a way that makes me think Thailand, but then again, that little tuk-tuk or whatever it is actually more so reminding me of Sri Lanka. And there isn't a lot of concrete evidence, and of course you can get those tuk-tuks in Thailand. I don't really know why it's making me think Sri Lanka more. Actually, if this was Sri Lanka, this would be very flat, so I think we do go Thailand, now that I'm thinking about it. Wish me luck, and it was Sri Lanka. That 50-50 ended our 16 country streak, which is not bad. We almost kind of got to that 23 of last time. Let's go for one more, see if we can get one more nice longish one. Sometimes you get those 50-50s and there's not much you can do. I'm just gonna try to go really quick here, and the guesses might get a little bit worse, but I am definitely trying to get up one more good streak, and I don't want to run out of time. Okay. This is not the most forgiving round. It is probably obvious to some with like that type of bollard. I mean, are these just faded French? I guess they are, right? They gotta be. I don't know any other bullets that look like this, and this is looking red. This one is gray, so I figured it was just like, and there's other gray ones, so I figured, you know, maybe it's just another country uses a somewhat similar bullard, but I don't think so. I think this would be France, and I mean, man, it could even be Corsica, and it doesn't really matter whether it is or not, so, but I was right to just go south mainland. I haven't seen this truck before, to be honest. With a name like Badjira. Is this just like Australia or something? Yeah, never seen this truck before. Foliage isn't looking super familiar. You know, it was easy to tell, even not looking at the sun. This is such a southern hemisphere thing, but I'm like a little bit afraid that it still could be South Africa or something. But I think this is just like a weird specialized Australian coverage or something, maybe Western Australia. It is Western Australia, and of course it is a very weird part. Like, this is of course not a typical area of Australia, this like very northwest part, so I'm glad that I even got that it was. And this one is not super obvious. These poles, that pole could probably tell me for sure, but you know, it looks like Colombia, I think, so I think I'm just gonna go Colombia. There isn't really any reason not to, as far as my knowledge goes. And it is Colombia, down a little bit towards Ecuador. And here we go, lots of white, black painted stuff. We're driving on the left. I would say this is like Malaysia. And do we have anything to confirm? Yeah, okay, so we do have the black stickers. So I think my guess would be pretty far down mainland Malaysia, but actually it's Perak. And I don't know, I mean, maybe Perak is full of those palm plantations, but it did seem a little bit north to get all of that one type of really common Malaysian palm. And I know that it is grown agriculturally. I can't remember what it's called, but pretty interesting stuff. Still led us to the correct country. This, however, is a bit more of a challenge. And I guess it would just be Norway. It didn't look super Norwegian, but the lines do make me think Norway, and it's very mountainous. So what's the vibe that we get? Probably not too north. I'm just gonna plonk it. Actually, it was quite north. Sometimes I have a terrible vibe for that. Sometimes I'm pretty good at that. Just depends on the round. Okay. I guess with the way, I mean, that just looks like Portuguese. Everything else, yeah, we got the black back of the sign. We got the longer license plate. This is going to be for sure southern Brazil. Cool. Good guess. Technically not in the right province, but still a great guess. We got another definitely Latin America. I'm actually kind of leaning, landscape-wise, I was leaning Brazil too, but I don't see like a for sure Brazil pole. Now, Brazil doesn't have to have those signature Brazil poles. It can have other poles, but I actually think that without a single one in sight, that makes me really doubt whether it's Brazil. And let's check the sun, even though the sun often doesn't help. It does seem like we are in the southern hemisphere. So this is tough. Let's think about it. It could definitely still be Brazil. I mean, the dirt is really red. We're definitely in Latin America. It's just the poles that are making me hesitate. Another option could be way up in like Misiones province in Argentina. What else do we think? If the sun didn't suggest that it was in the south, I would be maybe inclined to say it could be like a Mexico. But on the other hand, we also don't see, well, actually that could be a Mexico pole. It's kind of tough to tell, but why would the sun, maybe the sun isn't very, the sun's actually pretty much just straight up. So actually, I think we're looking at Mexico. I think this is Mexico. I feel pretty comfortable sending Mexico here. And it was much further north. My Mexico reads are often really bad. I try to practice it sometimes and then I get a little better and then I just lose my progress. What would this be? This would be, the truck is not what I expected to see. Where is this? I was gonna say, my guess was actually gonna be maybe South Africa, but it's definitely not South Africa. We're driving on the right. This is actually tough. Dirt is actually pretty red. Could this be Mexico? It's certainly not typical Mexico at all. But it could be with those hills. I think it could be, yeah. We do have a big old American-looking truck, which is also very Mexican. It's just North American in general, to have a huge truck. It seems to transcend cultures. It's just a Canada, US, Mexico thing. Obviously, they're found elsewhere, but it looked like an American truck too. For whatever reason, I'm just totally refusing to believe that this could be America, but that fence actually is very American. Yeah, I think we would just go America, actually. And I just don't know, maybe Texas. Oh man, and it was Mexico, it was near Texas. The fences, it is true, the fences up here in Chihuahua, Sonora, Baja California, I wouldn't be surprised if Cahuila also had that. But yeah, those fences were much less Mexican looking because you get those kind of scraggly wooden fences and that just looks super Latin American. That was totally an American style fence, metal with a kind of white painted at the top. I see that all the time. So yeah, that was actually kind of a toughie. I think the one thing that should have given it away was that it was a single yellow line. Of course, you can absolutely find that in America, but it's much more common in Mexico. So I think we're gonna call it there. We didn't beat our 23 streak from before, but hopefully you enjoyed it, and I definitely went a lot faster this time, trying to keep it at a more enjoyable pace. I'm probably going to be back real soon trying to get a better streak, but I think doing it at this pace is better anyways, at least until I get like 10, 15 deep into a streak. I know I can do better than 23. I will do better than 23. Hopefully next episode, maybe we'll reach 30. With that being said, I'm going to call it quits there. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this quick no moving country streak episode, and hopefully I will see you in my next video.